the people.
How intoxicated are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
I've had a couple of drinks tonight, but that doesn't mean
just a few.
I'm an American patriot. I can have a couple of drinks.
I'm just curious.
How much you guys getting paid?
I'm just asking questions.
How much you guys getting paid? What are you guys doing? Why are you guys following people around?
We're covering.
Why are you following?
Talk about the irony and hypocrisy. That right there is William Kelly. He's one of the people who stormed the St. Paul Church. He was live streaming the raid to his 66,000 followers on TikTok, and he was following people around, terrorizing the kids, teenagers. He even was yelling at elderly people outside, and now he's upset that people are following him. He was recognized because his face has now gone viral thanks to his stream and those videos, and he's just oh so upset that people would actually confront him in public, just like he confronts other people. Again, irony and a total lack of self-awareness. Now, here's where things get really crazy, because it turns out that was not William Kelly's first rodeo. He's actually a full-time, professional, and paid protester. That's right, he goes all over the country to join these protests. He goes there to agitate people, and he live streams it on his TikTok. And to make matters even worse, he's actually known to law enforcement. In fact, just 2 days before he stormed that church in St. Paul, he was arrested in front of Whipple. Take a look.
So yeah, they're gonna come for me. I just want to apologize. You guys heard he's identified us. He's gonna come for me. So when they come, I'm gonna be the first to run. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. Come and get me. Fuck you.
And as you can see, William is being arrested here by the police. I don't know about you, but it is just really satisfying. And they give him the perp walk all the way to the car. And, you know, they weren't able to arrest all of the protesters who were there. But the fact that he's one of the ones that they got makes me really happy. But if that happened Friday, how was he able to storm the church on Sunday? Well, what happened around that time was this. According to the AP, judge rules feds in Minneapolis immigration operation cannot detain or tear gas peaceful protesters. So they apparently qualified him as peaceful because he wasn't actually, I don't know, lighting buildings on fire like they did during the summer of 2020. He was definitely trying to obstruct. He was definitely trying to get in their way and provoke, but apparently did not meet the qualifications. That's what you get when you have a radical leftist activist judge who steps in for political reasons. Well, it turns out that William Kelly is not even from Minneapolis or St. Paul or Minnesota itself. He's from Washington, D.C., and he's actually had run-ins with law enforcement in D.C. before.
Oh, fuck off. Hey, who'd you vote? Hey, who'd you vote for? 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 Who'd you vote for, bud? Yeah, you Nazi piece of shit. You traitorous. You. You. I'm not doing anything wrong. I am not doing anything wrong. I am not doing anything wrong. You are violating my constitutional right. 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 First Amendment protester. You are violating my constitutional right. You guys went hands on, not him.
He's obviously a lunatic and deranged and deeply needs psychiatric help, but what I really hate about that clip is the bystander, or perhaps it was a fellow protester, who was chastising the cops for stepping in, right? Because Kelly clearly was chasing this family, he was cursing at them, he was getting aggressive. This could have quickly escalated into a physical fight, but instead the police interfered before things got even worse. Well, unfortunately for Kelly, he does have a history of participating in protests where people have been physically hurt so badly that they actually had to be sent to the hospital. So this is from Megan Basham. She writes for the Wall Street Journal, Daily Wire, a lot of high-profile publications. This man, William Kelly, a ringleader for the mob that stormed a Southern Baptist church yesterday, is part of a group that also so severely harassed Christ Church in D.C. that they sent a church member to the hospital with a shattered eardrum. Talk about just terrible. And William obviously, as you've heard in all of these clips, he's extremely loud. So he definitely contributed to the noise that resulted in that shattered eardrum. And look, I get that it's not the same as being punched in the face or, needing stitches, a broken bone, or anything like that. But a shattered eardrum is still, to have one of your senses impacted like that is just, I believe that's one of the most terrible things you can do to someone. As I've shared on the channel many times before, my background before I got into acting for film and TV is actually for music. I went to college for music. I'm a pianist, and I worked professionally as a musician for a little bit. I kind of still do, but not to the extent I did before. But all of that being said, if there was some tragic accident and I lost my eyesight, I'd like to think, that I'd be fine and would go on. Obviously, it would be terrible, and I hope it never happens. But, you'd learn to adjust to life. But I've actually thought before, like, if I ever lost my hearing, and for those of you who are musicians, or maybe you're singers, or there's some sort of art that is really part of you, I don't know that I could go on if I lost my sense of hearing. So to me, like, I get that that's not, as terrible as maybe a broken nose. But for William to willingly do that to someone and to still participate in these protests, to get loud, to get into people's faces, whatever happens to him as far as justice goes, I have absolutely zero sympathy. Well, if he's based in Washington, D.C., and he stormed this church in St. Paul, that obviously raises the question, how did he get there? How did he pay for his flight? Well, take a look at this. This is a GoFundMe profile that he created. Help me school demons for their bad life decisions. His goal is $45,000. He's already raised $41,000. You can see here his name, William Kelly, showing his face. And so, yeah, he is a professional paid protester. Obviously, that doesn't include if he's getting money from other sources. What I don't understand is how this fundraiser is somehow still on GoFundMe. You'd think it would go against one of their terms of service. After all, he has literally put people in the hospital, terrorized them, provoked them, been aggressive towards people, provoked police officers. It's only a matter of time until he injures someone else to a much more serious extent. So personally, I've gone to this page and I've reported it. We'll see if they take it down. For some reason, I doubt it, but you never know. And I'm not telling you what to do, but in case you just want to fact check me and see, hey, is Daniel telling the truth about this? I'm just going to conveniently leave a link, pin it as the top comment, so you can find his GoFundMe fundraiser down in the comments below, just in case, you want to check it out. I'm not saying what you should do, but yeah. Well, when it comes to these radicals, they tend to be very hypocritical. So he's talked so much about how white people have white privilege, and, he was really just railing against the white people in that church. I found this clip of him in Washington, D.C. He was harassing the National Guard, and coincidentally, he was just harassing the only black female in the group. Yeah, this supposed social justice warrior is targeting the black lady.
Nobody can do it. So what's up with you, man? You don't want to be here, do you, man? Where are you from? Where are you from? You really don't believe in your oath to the Constitution? You probably don't give a f***. You're just trying to get a paycheck, aren't you? But you need to understand that you are supporting Donald Trump's tyranny. You guys are setting the precedent for military to be on our streets policing our citizens.
Mind your own business.
Fuck you,
Thank you so much.
Damn, I'm so tired of y'all betraying our nation. For what? For a paycheck? Captain Dylan Blaha ain't in Leavenworth. Staff Sergeant Demi Palachek ain't in Leavenworth. You deployed. You probably have a combat badge, don't you? You look like you've seen some shit. How do you feel? Betraying this city, betraying this republic. I'm up in your face for one reason and one reason only, and that is because you're betraying the oath you swore to the Constitution.
Talk about patience that they had to ignore him and just not let him goad them into any sort of reaction. Bravo and kudos. And what is this guy's problem? He's just so angry about everything. Is he just angry at white people? Is he angry about the Constitution? Is he angry about ICE? Is he he seems to be protesting everything. It must be a full-time job for him. And apparently, he can raise a lot of money doing it. And who knows what other sources may be backing him. Well, he actually held a press conference earlier today because he's feeling the heat. The DOJ has said that they're going to crack down on these disruptors and anyone who is breaking the law in St. Paul and Minneapolis. But before we get to that, I would like to acknowledge the members of today's Governor's Club. They are Bob Paul, Super Roamer, and Bama Ridden Hour. These are people who give tips and super thanks to the channel. Well, take a look. This is just a moment from his press conference, and just enjoy him feeling oh so sorry for himself.
I mean, what we're seeing around this country is they're using their political influence to attack people that disagree with them. They're going to come at me with charges, and I'm not scared of that. There's no base for these charges. I did not block them from, their service. They welcomed us in. They never asked us to leave. The police never came in and removed us. So we didn't stop their service. In fact, people were still praying the entire time. The music was still playing the entire time. So, Pam Bondi, you want to come and arrest me? You want to come and give me charges? So be it. And for all the people giving me death threats, threatening my life, kill me. Go ahead, kill me. Because you know what? As Fred Hampton said, you can kill the revolutionary, but you can't kill the revolution.
I'm just going to say this. I would not feel safe in whatever city he's in as long as he's allowed to freely roam the streets. I'm not saying he needs to be locked up because of that protest specifically, but clearly the guy truly needs deep psychological help. Like, he's not right. The marbles aren't... No. Last but not least, when news of this church raid happened, one of the common sentiments from everyone was, can you imagine if they did this to a mosque? Can you imagine if they did this to a synagogue? Well, it turns out that William Kelly has been to a synagogue before, and surprise, surprise, his behavior there was a lot different than it was in a church.
Somali mosque, and as you can see how beautiful it is, this is where they do their prayer.
And he goes on talking about how beautiful it is and how sad he is that there's no one there because, they're just terrified that they're going to be arrested and deported. And so no one's showing up, allegedly. Just given his track record, given his mental state, I just don't believe anything he says. As always, though, all of this is just my analysis and commentary. That's what's happening in the world of politics from my point of view, and I would love to hear from you. So what do you think? Do you think that this guy is just a passionate protester, or do you think he potentially has something psychological going on? And look, I'm not saying, I get this. Mental illness is a real thing. I'm not trying to stigmatize it, and I'm not saying that, all violent or all people with mental illness become violent or anything like that. But clearly, to me, something is not right here. I'm not a physician. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. So I'm not trying to diagnose him. But the system is failing when someone like him can do this again and again and again, when he can get arrested multiple times, when his group has sent people to the hospital with ruptured eardrums. It is only a matter of time. The left likes to talk, talking about the Second Amendment. They like to talk about red flag laws, right? Oh, if only we had a red flag law, that mass shooting would not have happened. Well, can we not apply the logic here? Are there not a lot of red flags? To me, every time he opens his mouth, a red flag pops out. Bloop, and I just see it dangling down. Again, just my thought. If you haven't already, please be sure to leave me a thumbs up. I know it's a simple thing to ask for, but it really does help me reach more viewers like you in the algorithm. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and to check out one of these videos.